Hi guys, Mr. Riley here. Today I'm going to tell you about a hike in Putnam County that you can take that retraces the steps of Benedict Arnold. For a few days in 1780, the fate of the nation hung in the balance right here in Putnam County, New York. It was on this path on September 25th, 1780, that General Benedict Arnold will turn his back on his country. Arnold will go from being the hero of the Battle of Saratoga to become the most detested man in America. As Patriot General Nathaniel Greene dramatically stated, never since the fall of Lucifer has a fall equaled his. Nearly 250 years later, we're still left wondering why Benedict Arnold did this. So this is where our hike begins. This is the Robinson house. This is the home of Beverly Robinson, a loyalist, and during the war his house was confiscated and used as headquarters by Israel Putnam, and then most infamously by Benedict Arnold. So I'm on the side of the road here on 9D, and as you can tell, it's a pretty busy road. So you have to be careful if you wish to start your hike from this point. So Benedict Arnold has just learned that Andre has been captured, and it won't be long before they put the pieces together and know that it is Benedict Arnold who has betrayed his country. So it's right here where Arnold decides to get on his horse and head to the British lines and become a traitor to his country. So let's go follow the route of Benedict Arnold. Okay, so as you're walking, you'll look carefully, you'll see up ahead a blue sign. All right, so we're on the path where Benedict Arnold became the most notorious traitor in American history. So rather than risking your life on 9D, I would park at Wing and Wing Road. There's a parking lot there, and then look for this sign that says, "Let's go take a hike," and that's more safe. Arnold would have been on horseback, but he no doubt galloped right past here on his way to the Hudson River. Right off the distance you can see West Point, and that's the site where Arnold was in command of, and it was a key military fortification for the Patriots. And it makes you wonder why Arnold would choose his headquarters on the Putnam side of the river, far from his headquarters. And he also chose the house of a former loyalist, the Robinson house. So in hindsight, perhaps there was clues that were missed, and it took a while to piece it all together. But certainly Arnold had thought about this, and most likely had the help of his wife, Peggy Shipman, as well. So I made it down to the Hudson River, and it took me a little bit longer than Benedict Arnold, and I tend to get lost frequently, so that's why I usually do these hikes by myself. But again, Arnold was on a mission. He left his wife and child behind, and he was on the run. Some would say a coward. Looking out to the north, you'll see West Point, where today the United States Military Academy. And this was the fort that Arnold was given command of and expected to defend. And for $20,000, he's willing to turn over West Point to the British, and that could have changed history. Washington felt that West Point was the key to the continent, and it all went down right here on the shores of the Hudson River in Putnam County. At this point, where Arnold will leave his country, get on a rowboat, and get on board a British vessel, the VULTURE. All right, guys, so I'll leave you here. Thanks for watching, and it gives us something to think about why someone like Arnold would betray his country, and what we can learn 250 years later. That how do we develop trust, and how do we keep trust, and how do we keep our honor? So these are all questions that were thought about and pondered about for the past 250 years, and it's part of our nation's history.